Introducing first, from London, England, weighing in at 16 stone, he is the British Messiah, Timothy Thatcher!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Pro Wrestling Gym Wars. I am your play-by-play host, Donovan Diamond, alongside with Matthew Thiel, calling this action as Timothy Thatcher, the British Messiah, steps into the squared circle today against Vennis DeMarco.
In the main event of today's program, the veteran Vennis DeMarco, someone that also made the horrible mistake of turning me down to be his manager, will go up against one of his biggest challenges to date in Timothy Thatcher.
And introducing his opponent from Venice, Italy, weighing in at 252 pounds, Vennis DeMarco!
Matthew Thiel, I think Vennis DeMarco just pointed to the camera and said, Matthew Thiel, I'm in the main event without you. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel as though Vennis DeMarco may be having somebody negotiate his contracts for him behind the scenes. Nobody as talented as me, of course, because if I was in Vennis DeMarco's corner, he would be wrestling in a championship match right now.
Well, speaking of championship matches, I believe that might be in the future for whoever wins this contest. Vennis DeMarco looking to make a singles career here in All Pro Wrestling with the fans behind him, looking for his first shot at championship gold. I mean, he has had a chance in the past against Jekyll's for the Universal Heavyweight title, but he's looking for that first time he gets to strap that belt around his waist. And Timothy Thatcher, after suffering a loss to Double D Dave Dutra for the Internet title months past, is looking to climb that ladder again tonight by beating Vennis DeMarco so that he can get his shot at his, what he states as his Worldwide Internet Championship once again.
And of course, we cannot forget that Vennis DeMarco is a two-time APW Tag Team Champion. He is no stranger to championship gold, and he would absolutely love to have one singles championship strapped around his waist. Can he do it without me in his corner? Maybe not.
Yes, he can. In my opinion, tag team gold is one thing, but a singles title, you're on your own without a partner, and I believe Vennis DeMarco has what it takes to put not only away Tim Thatcher, but maybe secure a shot and a title around his waist for the Worldwide Internet Championship.
It seems as though Vennis DeMarco is out wrestling Timothy Thatcher here in the early stages of this match.
Vennis DeMarco, an APW graduate from the APW boot camp, showing those fundamentals that he learned in the gym. Go behind by Thatcher, but I believe Vennis is still controlling the arm. Yes, takes down Timothy Thatcher, now putting on that front chancery. Look at the position Vennis DeMarco's trying to keep Timothy Thatcher's body as far away from the ropes as possible by positioning himself in front of the ropes.
He can absolutely keep Timothy Thatcher under control, but it's also allowing Timothy Thatcher time to think, which is very dangerous when it comes to Mr. Timothy Thatcher.
Timothy Thatcher, knowing that pro wrestling is a game of chess, and quite the chess player himself, figuratively speaking and inside the ring. Vennis DeMarco reversing, Thatcher bridging up from that pinning predicament.
Look at the creative way of keeping his shoulders off the mat. He can't roll to one side or the other, so he just props his entire back up.
Arching up, rotating that pinning predicament into a wrist control of his own, breaking down DeMarco with the foot, with that top hand wrist flop locked in. Thatcher loves controlling the arm. He puts most of his concentration onto the arm of his opponent, not only to set up for that devastating arm DDT that he does, but also for that brutal face lock controlling the arm as well.
And you saw Timothy Thatcher immediately put Vennis DeMarco on the mat, not giving him a chance to get any upward momentum at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Thatcher in control of this match. Vennis finally breaking away through the ropes. We'll be back with more of this great match in just a few. And ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm Donovan Diamond, bringing you the play-by-play of this great match alongside with Matthew Thiel, the greatest mind in professional wrestling.
Absolutely, and Timothy Thatcher using the entire commercial break to just rip into Matty Banks. He believes that that Vennis DeMarco bit him in their last exchange, and I believe it wholeheartedly.
What are you talking about? Just because you have a vendetta against Vennis DeMarco doesn't mean that he's a blatant cheater like that. Vennis broke into the ropes and was able to get out of the hole.
Okay, you know what? Vennis DeMarco is absolutely no stranger to using underhanded tactics to win matches. I would not be surprised if Vennis DeMarco bit, clawed, scratched his way to victory here with such an important match against Timothy Thatcher.
Thatcher asking if Vennis DeMarco was up for a Roman knuckle lock and then automatically turning it into positioning himself to control that arm. Vennis bringing him back into the ropes, Irish whipping him off, and a huge tackle sends DeMarco down, blowing his snot on DeMarco. What is that?
Showing him exactly what he thinks of
DeMarco now delivering a clothesline and a back elbow. I'd be fired up as well if I had snot blown on me by Timothy Thatcher. DeMarco brings him up, has him hooked, and a huge airplane spin. Vinta 1970s wrestling. You don't see that often here.
Turning it into a Death Valley driver. That's actually really creative there by Vennis DeMarco.
DeMarco spun so much that not only was Thatcher dizzy, I believe DeMarco was dizzy as well.
Timothy Thatcher taking some time, taking a breather outside the ring. Smart strategy.
There you go. Thatcher taking the easy way out.
No, he's just trying to get his bearings so he can wrestle a good, clean match.
DeMarco trying to knock the cobwebs off as well. Matty Banks starting his count on 3 now.
Is Timothy Thatcher in any condition to continue this match?
Thatcher on the apron trying to come in. DeMarco's not taking the trust involved with shooting on the leg to take Thatcher down. He didn't fall for the Roman knuckle lock again. Rolls him over for the cover, only a 1 count.
I would call that one a 0. Timothy Thatcher still dizzy from the airplane spin.
DeMarco running him into the buckle. O'Connor roll, going for the pin. Referee out of position. That could have been a 3 count, but Timothy Thatcher shoots DeMarco into the buckle. It looks like he hit his shoulder on that turnbuckle, Theo. That might be dangerous with Timothy Thatcher's plan to attack the arm.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Thatcher delivering a huge headbutt to the arm of Vennis DeMarco. I believe DeMarco could have dislocated his shoulder.
There we go.
There's that arm DDT I talked about earlier.
All of the momentum coming down with that arm takedown.
Thatcher going for the cover. DeMarco able to kick out, but I don't know how good his arm's doing in this match. I don't think he's 100% after hitting that shoulder into the post, Theo.
Absolutely not. And when you're in a match with such a dangerous competitor as Timothy Thatcher, he will use any advantage that he has to make sure that he's able to get that crossface on and take home the victory.
Timothy Thatcher, while overseas on a tour of England, his first time, was known as the Great White. They called him that because when he's seen an ounce of weakness in his opponent, it was like a shark smelling blood in the water. He focuses his attack on that weakened body part, and that is his whole entire progress in the match. His momentum and all of his focus is on that weakened limb of his opponent, and right now that limb is Vennis DeMarco's arm.
Thatcher going for the cover. I will say, Vennis DeMarco is a veteran. He's a 10-year veteran in that ring, able to drape his foot on the bottom rope there.
Timothy Thatcher, no slum either, having a good 6 years into the business and a huge European uppercut.
Vennis DeMarco reversing it into a backslide.
This could be all. Thatcher able to kick out, though.
You know, there was a reason why I offered my services to Vennis DeMarco. He's a competitor in that ring.
Thatcher throwing the clothesline, ducked by Vennis DeMarco, and a huge belly-to-back suplex delivered. DeMarco trying to shake off the damage done to that arm. Thatcher caught in a jumping monkey flip by Vennis. That's a new one from Vennis DeMarco. Big splash in the corner. Thatcher looks to be in trouble. Vennis lifting up Thatcher, drops him in front. This could be that A elbow that Vennis DeMarco likes to know. A springboard leaping elbow from Vennis DeMarco.
Vennis DeMarco's wasting time here. He's just giving Timothy Thatcher a chance to stand up.
Oh, and another elbow. Vennis DeMarco should know better as a veteran to take your eyes off an opponent such as Timothy Thatcher. At any given time, he can attack you from behind if you turn your back.
But of course, how smart is it that Vennis DeMarco was going for elbow drops from the second rope with all the damage that's been done to his arm already in this match?
That's not a very wise game plan, but it may turn out to be successful, and Thatcher drives him down again.
And that is where the incredible defense and offense comes together for Timothy Thatcher. Most people would think that he was going to reverse the whip, but instead he just drives Vennis DeMarco straight to the mat.
And there he is trying to grab that arm to put in that vicious face lock that he applies with that arm hooked between the legs. Did you see the way he brought DeMarco down? He didn't throw him down normally. He used all of his momentum and weight to pull down that arm, the injured arm of Vennis DeMarco. Vennis able to fight back with a neck breaker, both men down, DeMarco crawling for the cover.
It's a 2 count there.
You need to hook the leg on a wrestler such as Timothy Thatcher if you want to score a victory here in All Pro Wrestling.
And then again, the advantage of going after the arm the whole time. How can Vennis DeMarco have the strength left in his arm to appropriately hook that leg for the pinfall attempt?
Very true statements, Matthew Thiel. It's going to take a lot for DeMarco to be able to, and once again kicking that. He's taken him down. He has him. This may be it.
There's the crossface. This is locked in. There's no way. There we go. And Vennis
DeMarco just could not hold back anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Timothy Thatcher.
Here's your winner by submission in 8 minutes and 36 seconds. The British Messiah, Timothy Thatcher.